Hold on, I can't see. Hold on. I can't.
Ooh, Josh, it's a spooky episode.
I can't even breathe.
Hold on. Wait. You took the mask off? Hold on, this is the best part.
My natural head.
Hey, Josh.
Yes, Fusco.
You know what really sticks a boat in my barley?
What's that, Fusco?
When someone anonymously sends you horse head masks and you have to find a reason to use them.
Dude, I can't hear you at all. I like how your beard is sticking out the bottom of the horse head mask.
Wait, hold on. Oh, I can't hear it. Hold on.
Oh yeah, this is easily the best start to an episode of Chan Rant we've ever had.
Oh, I can't get it off. Hold on.
You gotta get the headphones first.
Oh my God, it's stuck to me. All right, hold on.
And then the horse head.
Oh, I got it.
I don't even know. Can anyone even hear the chanters? I have no idea. I couldn't hear the headphones.
I couldn't hear anything. Yeah.
That horse head mask to save my soul from hell. To save my soul from
hell. Even that chord sucks.
Yeah, I think it might be the mic.
Yeah, we might have a bad mic here.
Hello and welcome to the Chan Rant Podcast. My name is Josh. With me, as always, is my spooky co-host, Andy Fusco.
Ooh, that's me.
And if you didn't know, I'm here to let you know that this is an explicit show. We're going to say some dirty words and get into some spooktacular exploits. So if you're a little bit afraid of going into the shower at midnight in your little camp by the river, or if you're just some preteens trying to finger bang each other in a car in a dark forest night, this is not the show for you because you will definitely get axe murdered. You like that? You like the little twist? Yeah. Last but not least, listeners can review the show on Ice Booze or Spotify or whatever. Yeah, what are some other ones? Google Slay
or.
You got something? No puns for you.
Puns are the lowest form of comedy. You know this.
They're the highest form. You can send us emails and voicemails we played on air. We have some tonight. You can like us on Facebook.
Oh, you're full of them tonight, aren't you?
It's Insta Scream. Twitter is scary enough as is. Or
Snap.
Snapchat, slap, Charles. Yeah, I don't know.
We got nothing.
Yeah, we'll come up with something for that later.
We'll keep working on it.
Check us out on Patreon. You can become a patron and support the show. Patreon.com/Chanarant. Last but not least, invite and share or beware.
Did you know we got a new patron today?
Did we?
We did.
Were they the spookiest patron? Okay, how long are we going to do this bit?
I say we do it the whole time. It'll annoy the shit out of people.
Sorry. Oh my God.
It's almost as good as after.
I didn't even pour beer.
It's almost as good as Chanarant.
After dark.
Which, by the way, is coming
back
soon.
Yeah, coming back soon. Okay, so Mr. Foucault,
can I say something?
What was your? Do you know what really pisses me off thing? Because I could barely hear you through the horse mask.
I said, you know what really, Josh? You know what really throws an oat in my barley?
What's that, Fusco?
I said, when someone anonymously buys you horse head masks and you have to find a reason to use them.
Hey, we used the horse head masks.
Hey, we finally used them and we got some use out of
also,
them. So whoever you are, thank you.
That may be the most satanic thumbnail in the history of Chanarant. I should probably mute the devil mic.
No, that's great. It's creating all kinds of feedback and annoying.
It's coming through, yeah.
Wait, how are we going to use it?
Yeah, see, I say leave it on because put it right there so I can use it if I am. Oh, it doesn't fit in this thing? Here, let's put Dilly in that thing.
Every time you move it, it does the thunderous. This mic is shorting.
Here, this is when we want to get particularly spooky. We go. Oh wait, no. There we go.
It's a built-in sound effect that may or may not short out the board.
Oh my god, we've already had lots of things go wrong today. The board blew up on us.
Oh
and-
yeah, it's been a hell of a spooky evening.
Oh my god. So can I just say, we've been gone for weeks now, like in this format of just you and I kind of like getting shit together.
No, we've had a lot of actual episodes,
We've had real episodes where we traveled. We had 4 guests on last time or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was.
which was a goddamn chain rant miracle.
Oh,
Okay,
how
that was
we
not
pulled that
easy
off.
to pull off.
Yeah, no, I don't know. And they were amazing. And thank you again to the 4 of them for doing that. Cameron McDougal, Lauren, and
Catherine and Keegs.
I don't know. I don't know how to.
Kegasis?
I don't know how to say his name. But
Kegasis?
you know what the best joke in the world is, or the best like gag, is when you just continually get somebody's name wrong, and then people just don't get
Well,
it.
we had a moment where I think people actually thought we had quit after the white whale,
Well, we did
and
say
we
were
thought
gonna quit.
we thought about it.
Oh, we definitely did because like
Yeah,
how do
I
we
was
do better?
considering. I was considering like, okay, we got Jack Lee. Like we can just fuck off in a
let's just-
quarter and die,
Let's just end this.
or we can tell the story of how Keegan lost his virginity.
We just what's great about that is we happened upon that. See, things just happen here at the Chatting Rant Podcast.
The trick to the Chain Rant podcast is we have a firm belief that it is better to be lucky than good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And done is better than perfect. Between those two things,
If, you can build an empire.
of 58 patrons. By the way, thank you all to the patrons who support us on a regular basis.
Yeah, we should definitely do a spooky patron read.
You want to do all 58 patrons?
All 58, dude.
Oh my god.
Hey, they go to bat for us. I will bore our non-patrons by reading all their names.
They're going to skip past it anyway. Why do we bother? I don't know. That's what I would do. If I were you, I would skip past when we read this. But you never know because every once in a while we throw in comedy bits when we do stupid stuff like this just to see who's listening. And nobody's listening. So
Wait, are you saying that there's like a little button that will just fast forward 30 seconds if you're listening on certain podcasting platforms?
there just might be.
Like Google Slay
Exactly.
or Spotify?
Google Slay the Puss.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But
So, Fusco, let's get through
Yeah, but-
the spooky domestics. With
as
some,
Rab likes to say. I don't
with
know
some,
what domestics
with
means.
some spooky emails.
What the hell was that?
They might have been a ghost. Might have a ghost in the emails.
Did you turn it off?
No, it's still on. It's just not shorting right now at the
Oh, well,
appropriate
okay,
time.
that did work.
So why don't you start us off?
So we've got lots to catch up on. We've been gone for a while. So some of these are going to be old, and thank you for sending them in. So our first one is from Pete. And he's referring to the last week's episode with our 4 guests from New Jersey. Kearney, New Jersey.
Three guests from from Kearney, New Jersey, and 1 guest from Ballyfuck, Scotland.
Exactly. So Pete says, probably one of the best yet. I assume he means episodes. I'm not sure. Great mix of piping stuff and irreverence. Actual mention of the Royal Conservatoire.
Sure.
I assume he means. And your giant dong in the same hour. Brilliant getting the McGonagall girls on for legitimacy. Proof of the hot tenor drummer theory. Plus those 2 piping guys. So yes, I agree. It was a great episode.
It was a good episode.
Yeah.
Brilliantly edited.
Absolutely, yeah. It was much better than usual.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the edit
It
was
was really tight. Good tight edit.
The edit was like the second Avatar. Like it took
Like
4
it
years.
It doesn't exist. You just cut the entire movie
Yeah,
out.
It took 4 years, but it was worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
No, we only, it was so funny because I thought we'd get a sneaky week where people didn't realize that, especially post Ren Fair, because Ren Fair was such a shit show. We got some material. We may be able to cut in some bonus content for the patrons.
yeah, that's about all it's going to be worth.
But yeah, no, we had a sneaky week because it's one of those weird
Hold
things
on.
where we ended up recording on a Wednesday.
you actually thought? What do you mean? You thought we could sneak by? Like
I
we thought we could sneak?
Yeah,
not doing an episode.
Well,
for
I thought
these people?
because we said that we quit
Oh,
during the Jack episode, I thought people would actually just like leave us alone.
oh God, no!
But
I've been harassed.
the people were hungry for
They were
more.
hungry for more. Where are you guys? Where I want to hear your voices.
I want to hear a good bagpiping podcast for once.
They missed us.
Yeah.
And in true Chatting Rant fashion, we made them wait.
Yeah, well,
So-
there's a saying in show business that I live by: always leave the crowd wanting more, never give them more than they could possibly want.
Right. And our personalities are way more than most people want, so
Yeah.
we really got to figure that out. But
It's the same. It's the same theory I use, when performing tantric sex.
how's that?
Just always leave them wanting more.
Oh shit! So
Like someone who's awake with a bigger penis
wait,
And-
that's almost everybody.
and better hydrated
At this point in my life,
and not hammered.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but remember like when we did the Jack Lee bit when we were down in Arizona, and we did the like fake cocaine bit, and
Dude, I gotta
I
say,
sneezed into the cocaine. Well, let me
I gotta
finish.
say-
Let me finish. Well, let me just say this first. Remember we sneezed?
Mm-hmm.
I sneezed in the cocaine and it went everywhere. That's essentially exactly what my ejaculate is like at this point in my life.
puff of
Just a
flour.
puff of flour into the air. It has no
You eat too much bread.
has no wetness to it at all.
Yeah. It's your desiccated little fucking love gun just shoots puffs of flour.
That's all it is, man. But that's all you need. Like when you add it, you add puffs of
13 minutes into the show and we're already talking about
dicks, jokes, and semen. But when you blow flour into a vagina and you add the wetness,
make bread.
Absolutely. You're adding yeast and flour, and then a hot oven, I guess. Right?
where are you going with this?
I have no
What's your end game? See,
Listen. Most of my life is I follow this path, and see, I'm also
a common tactic you use in comedy is how
know
how you're
the
going
end?
in,
Yeah.
and you know how you're going out. The middle you make up along the way.
Yeah, no, I have no end game here.
You
I'm just following the path and see what happens.
Went. Yeah.
Much like my life, I
Yeah.
just
much like the idea that fucking that brought you out to Las Vegas to play bagpipes.
yes.
But yes, Pete, that was a lovely episode with the four horsemen of the bropocalypse that were Keegan, Lorna, Katie, and whoever the fuck that last guy is.
The other guy here.
Yeah.
Somebody.
Some 3B fuck.
Yeah. So, so these I put the rest of these in a little bit out of order. So, if you would go for number 3.
And how am I supposed to read number 3?
So, I put a link. It should be there. Did it work for you?
Didn't work for me.
Really? Number 3?
You fucking with me right now? Or do
No,
I need to
it's really-
refresh?
Maybe. Yeah. Try to refresh. Maybe.
No, there's no links. You dingus.
Tell you it's there. All right.
That's okay. So it's Rooster.
Yeah. So the first one. So we had a gentleman.
Oh, is this the trolling and not trolling?
Yes.
Okay.
The first one of the trolling ones.
Okay. So this is from Rooster. Rooster says trolling, not trolling at the same time because I really want to know, and he sent us a screenshot of an email that he sent to info@leeandsonsbagpipes.com.
Yeah.
He said
We asked
"Gentle-"
people not to do this.
Yeah, please don't do this. Which just means more people are.
Yeah,
gonna
people are
do
going to do it. But
this. He says Gandhi cut is the subject line.
so he wrote this to Jack Lee's website. by
And
the
he
way.
says, gentlemen, and it's not going to go to Jack. It's info at.
"No,
Is that?
I'm pretty sure
I
it goes to him.
it's boop and boop. Email
It's-
redacted. Please don't
right.
send things to this email.
It goes to him or his sons. I
But it
don't
says,
know.
gentlemen, I'm inquiring on the dimensions of the Gandhi cut as compared to Jack's white whale dimensions. Would the Gandhi be close to Willie's sausage roll design from Bannatyne? Sincerely, Rooster Cockburn. Sorry.
So when I read this, like I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe he sent this."
Yeah, it's
I
like,
was super panicked.
the one thing that we usually were worried about is like, oh my God, like Chanaranners are going to actually reach out to people we like. Luckily, people we like tend to be good sports.
And also missed it completely.
So he got a response, and it says, "Hi, Rooster. Good to hear from you. Wow, great names. White whale, sausage roll. Love it. The Gandhi bag is pretty much a medium, but with a couple of differences. So, all business."
Yeah, 100%. But it was interesting that he referenced the two names that the guy said. But I don't think whoever this is did not get it. I don't think. Do you think they got it?
whoever got the email?
Whoever got the email and responded
Well,
did
dude,
not get the
yeah,
joke.
but it's not fucking Jack Molina that's getting those emails.
It could be.
It's some nephew or some peon that knows social media. Like, come on.
Maybe.
Knows how to make a Squarespace site. Like, you never... Okay, business tip. If there's an info at, it's never going to the person that's at the top. I promise.
Info at for us goes to me. I mean, I read them.
Exactly. Info at never goes to the person at the top. Case in point.
I own this bitch. So
Dude, we didn't even drink these whiskeys because we had horse heads on.
I know. Yeah. This is gonna be rough. This is gonna be a rough one, people. There it is. It worked. Scary sounds.
Dark Lord, is that you?
Satan, are you there?
Satan, can you hear me?
We should do a musical based on Satan.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously.
So I assume this is coming from the same guy. He sent us another email.
The only reason I muted it is because it's going to give you so much more room noise to cut out. So just give me a little bit of a signal.
Okay.
I'll unmute it.
All right. So we have an email from the heckler.
Okay.
And he says this. Hey, boys. After listening to the White Whale episode, I have to wonder if I need to pass the moniker of the heckler on to our boy Fuko. When what might be my favorite chant and rant moment ever, Fuko managed to heckle bagpipe living legend Jack Lee, whereas all I've ever accomplished was a failed attempt at heckling Doogie. Oh, must be the guy that went into the class. Okay. So he says, I'm paraphrasing, but when Fuko said, what do you say to people who say you're too mechanical and not musical enough? To Jack fucking Lee. To be fair, I kind of don't remember that I said this to him.
Did you listen back to the episode?
I haven't heard the whole thing yet. I've only heard like the first beginning of it. So anyway, it was Jack's response that was true podcast gold. Again, paraphrasing, but Jack says, well, Andy, no douchebag has ever said that to me.
That's definitely a paraphrase.
Fuko, yeah, because no one has balls as big as mine to say it to your face. Oh, he's saying that I said that. Apparently, I don't remember this.
Yeah.
So he says, Jack, in a classier way, then this says, well, while you're polishing your own knob, I'm polishing my silver stars and clasp on the way to the Glenfiddich. Not in those exact words, but still truly classic and one of my favorite moments ever. Hence, Fuko is the true heckler. I could never reach the true what is he saying? Sorry. I could never reach the level of heckling a bagpiping god. Dude, there's no fucking lights in here. I can't see shit.
You're staring at a light right now.
Heckling a bagpiping god. You guys are the fucking best. Rock on, boys. The former heckler. So, to be fair.
Also, it's not just heckling a bagpiping god. It's heckling a bagpiping god who just happens to be a friend of ours.
Oh, yeah. But I felt like I could get away with it because I don't know. I still don't have a good handle on reading him because he seems to have a good sense of humor. But then again,
well,
I don't know.
He's crazy smart.
Right.
Like,
well, there's that.
So he can see the thing I like about crazy smart people, whether they have a good sense of humor or not, is if it's a crazy smart person, they understand that you're coming at it with a sense of humor.
Definitely. And also I'm setting him up on purpose. Like, so.
Well, you're setting him up for him to knock it back down.
I know. Yeah. I kind of know where he's going to go because Jack is great he's got great quotes, and I wanted to sort of push him a little bit and just see what he said.
That's also what makes us such great interviewers.
We are pretty amazing.
Yeah, take notes, Andrew Douglas.
No, but obviously I'm a huge fan of Jack Lee's.
I'm just shooting left and right.
And I was very curious what he'd say because he's got such great quotes. He's so inspirational, especially the thing he talked about when he was talking about, like, we asked him about, like, band comes first thing, and a lot of people were writing into us about what he said about that. But I've been wanting to ask him that question for years, just to see what he would say.
I have a question for you. Do you feel like the Chain and Rant podcast has made you more ballsy when it comes to approaching these people and, like, asking them questions that you normally probably wouldn't have if you were just, like, sitting in the corner at an event and you saw them?
Yeah, I would never do this except for the show. Like, I would never just in conversation say, there'd be no point. Why would I do that?
Because you wanted to know.
It's not that, because I find it more interesting how he projects himself publicly. So, like, to ask him that if we're sitting in the corner at band practice and I said that to him, like, it wouldn't be that interesting to me, right? I would have no reason to do that. But to get him to go onto a microphone and, like, react to that is interesting to me.
Also, I hope that now that he has come on the show and also been a guest, he'll be more willing to,
do
back.
it again.
Yeah,
I think he is. He did.
We didn't beat him up too bad.
No, I wrote him a thank you note, I don't know, a week ago or so for a couple things.
That was very classy.
For coming on the show and a couple other things. And then he wrote back. He was in Scotland for the Glenfiddich, and he's like, it was a lot of fun. Thank you for keeping it semi PG for me, and whatever. And
Hey, we did pretty good.
and he's like, I'll see you in a couple weeks because he's coming out here in November. And so anyway, yeah, it's just fun to part of what we do obviously is push people's buttons intentionally, and just to see what they say.
Well, that's how you get the good stuff.
Oh yeah, and love, hate, good, bad, it's all interesting. So, but anyway,
Joe W's in the chat. He put it great, the greatest nonsense ever. I'm assuming that's when we had the horse heads on.
oh yeah, I'm sure that's what it was. Yeah.
All right, so what do we have next?
That now it's sort of dealer's choice. We got a few things that we could go into here.
So I want to start with Rab's trip to Stone Mountain
Yeah, that's a good one.
for sure, because
We have voicemails. I forgot. I didn't put them on the list. Just so you know, I forgot about that.
We should do those first, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
'Cause
let's do the
they're
voicemails.
old.
Yeah, let's do the voicemails because these are like 2 weeks old because we were traveling, guys. Come on, we were adventuring, making tasty podcast content for all of you hungry hippos.
You greedy little pigs.
You spooktacular greed mongers. We were sawing through content. In fact, we got so many things done. We had a to-do list and we cut through it like a knife.
You're just gonna go through the board and just keep making references, or
No, because that would send us down a wormhole.
oh my god, this is bad. He's got a soundboard. Everybody,
Never.
he's got a soundboard with effects. This is bad.
I'm essentially like a chimpanzee with a bazooka right now.
All right. So our
Story
first
of my life.
voicemail is from JD, and it's a couple weeks old, so I have no idea what it's about, but because I forgot in my
JD Nam.
yeah.
Oh, this would have been pre-Stone Mountain.
yeah, definitely yeah. So let's check it out.
What's up, Chanarant? It's your boy JD here. Just calling in regards to a comment you guys made on a podcast a couple weeks ago. You made the point that somebody who goes over to Ireland or Scotland and who's like, "Oh yeah, I'm 1/8 Scotch," is basically a dick. And
just proved my point.
I agree with that to a point. That guy's not 1/8 Scotch. Josh is 1/8 Scotch after the Highland Games, and
More like true. More like 7/8.
But there's a little more nuance to that discussion, I think, to be had. For one, you said, "No, you're just American. Everybody's just American," and I've heard that from Europeans, especially those who've never been to the United States. "Oh, you're not anything. You're just American." But what does just American mean, right? For me, being just American means I celebrate Robert Burns' birthday in late January, I play the bagpipes, and I wore a kilt at my wedding. For my engineering coworkers, being just American means celebrating the Lunar New Year, speaking Chinese to their grandparents, and wearing red at their weddings. So, are we both just American? Or are maybe we a little bit Scottish, a little bit Chinese, a little bit, whatever else. And I think there really is some nuance to that discussion. When people who aren't being a dick and saying they're 1/8 Scotch, even though they've never tried a Scotch, are going over there. Sure, that person's really just culturally American. But sometimes there's people who say, my ancestry's Scottish, my ancestry's French, German, Irish, whatever. And they still do hold on to some of those traditions, like many Americans do. And I think that really is an idea that's worth a little more exploration than just the hard and fast, you hold an American passport, therefore you are only American and nothing else. And it's an interesting thought. Anyways, be curious to hear your guys' thoughts on that. And cheers to everybody out there who is 1/8 Scotch tonight. Sancha.
Or 3/5.
This could turn into a whole topic.
So I have a lot to unpack here, but I think I can do it
there's so
fairly.
much.
I think I can do it fairly quickly.
Okay.
One, if I use the term "just American," which I don't think I did, I think I said "you're American."
I might have. You might. We definitely were really pushing.
I think I use the term "you're American," not "just American." "Just American" is not a term that I would I think I would use intentionally, but if I did, I apologize, because a more accurate thing I would say is you're American. You're an American person. Just American implies that, well, I'm only...
Like that's a bad thing.
I'm only
suggests-
this, and there's no ancestral history behind it. When you say that you're an American, in my mind, you are that. You are all of your ancestral history, plus all of the melting pot that is America. Like you get extra points. Like you have 150 HP at that point.
Okay.
Like your background is like 100. And then and then you're American, so you get that extra 50, right? You get that boost. That's the way that I look at this. The thing that frustrates me, and he illustrated this perfectly, is we run into so many people. It's like, oh, I'm Scottish, I'm Irish. I was like, no, you're American. But it's not you're just American. No, you're American. That's a great thing. Trust me, it's awesome. Like I'm American. I fucking love it. I can. Well, I'm also a tall white person, but. That helps. That helps significantly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, no, like you're American. Like that's awesome. It's not just American. It's not, well, I no longer have any access to my family's history because I'm American now. It's like, no, you still have access. Just like if you had Scottish Irish ancestry and you went to Canada, or you had Scottish Irish ancestry and they went to Australia, or Scottish Irish ancestry and they went to Sri Lanka. Like you still have that. That's still part of you.
Okay.
The point is, it's not your nationality, right? Like your nationality is where you consider to be your home. But it's not just that. It's not, well, I'm only from this place. Like, yeah, you have to, you have ancestry. Everybody does. But the thing you have to keep in mind is that you can't claim credit for your ancestry.
Correct.
Like the times and geographical locations where human beings fucked that eventually led to you being alive, you can't claim credit for that. You can only claim credit for the place you were and the place you live and the place you do things. Mm-hmm. You're a great example of this.
Am I?
Yes.
I would love to know why.
Because you have mostly Italian background. You play bagpipes. You're from New York. You were born in New York, which you had no control over whatsoever.
Correct.
You consider yourself now, from what you've told me, you consider yourself to be from here.
Well, it depends on how you define from.
Like if I said,
but
if
I
I
identify
said,
myself as an Nevada.
like if I said if we met and you didn't know me and we were in Russia,
okay,
I'd be like, where are you from?
I would say Las Vegas. Correct.
There you go.
So yes,
It doesn't discount the prior experiences.
Correct.
But the thing to take into consideration is don't take credit for things that had nothing to do with you.
Correct. This is the thing that I'm actually surprised that JD and I are so on. I think him and I are very much on the opposite opinion of this. The way he described it, like, yes, you can wear a kilt to your wedding, but the American experience is a melting pot, obviously, of a million different cultures. In my opinion, like, and Joseph JW talks about a little bit about anthropology in our comments here. But
this would be a way better point that I was making if I wasn't dressed like this. But I'm not changing the theme of this episode.
You're dressed like a Celt, like a druid. But like we're just products of 100, like luck, if you want to call it luck, or circumstance, whatever. We're Americans because you and I were born in certain places, lucky enough to be in the United States of America. Some people were lucky enough to be born in modern day UK.
Some people were lucky enough to be born in fucking Bali with beautiful clear waters, and that's their life.
Right, but some people were unlucky enough to be born in war-torn Syria, right? You know what I mean? Right. So, like, it's just like chance that we happen to be Americans. It's not it's a bad thing necessarily, but my issue is with people like that claim, and I get this all the time. I literally happened today at a gig I was at. Are you Scottish? Are you Irish?
You get this a lot because you daily gig.
Yeah, but I'm like, no, I'm American. I have Irish ancestry and Italian ancestry. I just love pipes. This is why I do this. It has nothing to do with the fact that I can tie my mother's family back to Ireland. We have documents, but it was 150 years ago. I have nothing to do with any of that. Nothing. Like, yes, we have Irish genes probably, but what does that mean? It's so far
Doesn't mean
removed.
anything
Nothing.
now.
Like, think of all the people that are getting
people in
this.
fucking Australia have Irish genes. People like everywhere.
absolutely.
People everywhere have Irish genes. The
Yeah,
motherfuckers
they're everywhere. Those people
motherfuckers
fuck
like
like
to
champs.
sail and they like to fuck.
They like to fuck. Holy shit.
Like here's the thing. It's not this or that.
No.
It's not I'm either this or I am that. It is I am this and.
Right. Yeah, that was a good one.
That's definitely a bell ringer.
the thing that
the whole
drives-
the whole thing is like when you're American overall, not even an American of any particular descent. When you're American overall, you have the Americanness, and that's yours, and you own it. And you also have the other thing. You also have your Chinese heritage. You also have your Irish heritage, your Scottish heritage. You get to have all of it. You get to have it both. That's the best part.
See, I don't know if I agree with that, but I know where you're. I understand what you're saying. I just my personal philosophy is that's not the same.
That's
thing.
the way. That's why I describe it as you go from 100 to 150 HP.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I grew up in a family. My mother is way more into her history than my father was. Like I knew I'm Italian because my father's last name, and I knew a little bit about their background. But my mother was like very proud to be Irish, and her whole family is very proud to be Irish. And like I grew up with that same idea, but then I'm like, as I learned, like became educated, I'm like, what does that mean? We've been here for 150 years. Like, we're as Irish as fucking that horse head on the floor. You know what I mean? Like culturally, we're not. We appreciate what it means to be. Like, what does being Irish mean? Like in America, it means like drinking on St. Patrick's Day and loving beer and like liking green shit. Like, what does that mean? Like, that's not
it's like
Irish.
it's like the thing. Like for my family, like the closest tie I could get. Like if I said, okay, here's my 6 degrees of separation to Scotland, I wouldn't go through my mother's side of the family because they've been here for fucking ever. I go through my father's side of the family, and they came like.
But most Americans have been here for a very long time.
Like on my father's
family.
side, my great grandfather came across on a boat to fucking Scotland, or
Right.
from Scotland to Canada,
Sure.
which means a lot of generations of my family spent more time in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but then came down and then like I don't, then they live in fucking Wisconsin. I don't consider myself from Wisconsin because my family's from there.
Right. Exactly.
Like it's a thing where
You're a product of your environment and where you are. currently.
just own your environment and own. Jesus Christ, I'm gonna have to burn that chair. Own your environment and own the reality of your upbringing, not like the romanticized version, right?
That's
like,
the thing that exactly. I think people
like,
romanticize.
I have Scottish and Irish ancestry. I have Swedish and German ancestry, but I am from
your physical
America.
your physical appearance may be very Scottish. Like looking at you, you're a tall white guy, very very goddamn white.
Plus, you haven't seen my ginger bush.
I haven't seen your penis.
Well, not
recently.
recently. Yeah,
But I mean, yes, obviously genes play a part in how you look. But our culture is not Scottish culture or Irish culture, as
No.
we learned when we were there. Like it's drastically.
well, I
different.
mean, as Rab learned when he came over to the States for a games,
Right.
Like
How
when
different
he came
it
to
is.
Stone Mountain and like he immediately realized like, holy shit, this is so different than what we do.
Yeah. Did you listen like to the people he talked about that were like, oh, my family, blah blah blah. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah,
like the thing that drives me nuts. We go to a games and or whatever games or every event that I show up in a kilt and people want to talk to me like I'm Scottish. Like, I have nothing to do with any of that.
The thing is, people will go to these kinds of events and they see someone that is, for you, in a pipe band uniform,
Right.
not in garb,
No, I don't have a goddamn broadsword on my back.
and they're like, oh,
I'm wearing a utility kilt and a broadsword. Like, yeah,
this
that makes
must
me
be,
Scottish.
This must be one of the performers. Let me ask them about what era they grew up in. It's like, no, motherfucker. Like, oh, what do you dress like that for? It's like, if I'm at a gig, $200 an hour. If I'm at an event, I'm like, to play bagpipes.
Yeah, exactly correct. Yeah,
But I think that yeah. So if I did say just American, then
it was
retract.
probably more likely me that said that. I don't
retract.
remember, but
but the thing is, like, it's like you get the thing I like about living in the States is that you get to have both. You don't have to pick. Do I want to be this or do I want to be this? You get to be both. Nobody cares.
yeah, absolutely.
Fusco gets to be a top and a bottom.
What up, pussies?
Sorry,
So, do we have another voicemail?
we do. Sorry, I was trying to bring it up because it was a weird situation here. We do, and I have no idea what this is going to be. So this might bring on a topic. Who knows what he's going to say? This is from Killian.
What up, Pussneys? Killian here. Hey, so I saw you guys had a Facebook status a little while ago, and you guys have been talking about being the destination pipe band. So I would come out and play. I've only ever played in my little corner of the Midwest, so I've never traveled to play in a band. So I guess my question would be, what do I need to do to prepare? Like, how early do I need to come? What do I need to be working on? Things that I may need to know. So they don't show up and you guys say, you suck dildos. And I have to pull dilly out of my mouth for you guys to be like, also, you suck at pipes. How do I avoid that? Let me know. Hashtag one of the six. Hashtag if you Joe Brady. Deuces.
So this is an easy one to answer. So
This is all you, man, because we've been getting a lot of questions about how do you come play with the Destination Pipe Band.
it's really quite simple.
The band that shall not be named. Also, can you ring the bell because I have my hands full and I hit my mic?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So everybody take a drink. It's very simple. Email me at chanarant@gmail.com and say I'm serious, because I can't remember if Killian was one of the other people who mentioned. We've gotten so many requests.
Yeah, we get a lot of spam.
So I'm sort of lost sometimes as to who sent what. But send us an email there and say, yes, I'm actually serious about this. I will come out to the Vegas games and play with you guys. And then we will put you in our Facebook group to do the homework, which is essentially learning the MSR medley and then posting it to us on a semi-regular basis.
Yeah, and if you're not shit, the tunes aren't that hard.
No, if you're like an average grade 3 player, it'd be super easy. If you're like a grade 4 player, then maybe.
If you're a grade 4 player willing to do homework.
Yeah, but we are actually going for it next year. There's no doubt about this. Like, yes, okay, so this is going to go down a road, but like we're starting to pull people in from around the country who want to play with us, and now we're starting to run into this problem of like rosters.
We don't have enough drums.
Well, that's true. We're not gonna have enough drums.
we're running. We got to get more equipment.
We're gonna need more equipment. That's okay.
I mean, not us. The band that shall not be named.
Correct. But I'm okay with that. We can figure that out. But more importantly, we got to follow the rules. So, especially if we're actually last year we were getting disqualified, so we didn't give a fuck.
We were playing for sheets.
Play, it didn't matter.
We were hashtag playing for sheets. So
you didn't have to be on our roster. So now next year we intend to actually play for real.
Yeah,
so
we're gonna have to sort rosters out because we actually have a decent shot.
Right. So if our Chanarant out of town players are only coming to the Vegas games, that's going to be relatively easy because that's early in the season, and then you have time to change back to your band without any problem. If we have like regular out of town players that are like playing with us all year that are more close, and they're going to just be on a roster all year, so that's not a problem. But so email us, and we will put you on the list, and then you can
Chanarant@gmail.com.
learn the music, and then basically you and I get on Skype with our out of towners, and then work them through the sets and then make sure that they're playing everything correctly. It's relatively easy, I think.
And look on the bright side. If you're shite, you can just ride the bench.
Yeah, you'll play mass bands with us, and either way, you'll earn your little yellow flashes.
You
don't have to play in the competition to earn the yellow flashes.
Oh, yellow flashes come standard.
Speaking of yellow flashes, Joe Brady, you cunt.
Oh, tell me about Joe.
So Joe is all over the Stone Mountain or the Big Rab show talking shit about us.
I've only listened like the first 15 minutes.
I've heard the whole thing.
Okay.
And Joe Brady's only in the beginning. The part you heard is probably what you heard.
Oh, Joe Brady just desperately seeking your daddy's approval.
Joe, it's okay, man. We still know you're out there. Like, Daddy knows.
So we've been very busy. We've been traveling. We've been doing shows with Jack Lee and Cameron McDougall and Keegan Sheehan and Lorna McGonigal, like all these big names. So Joe, winter is coming. We have time.
It's okay,
if you wanna be on the show, just ask us, man. You don't have to slag us on Big Rab. Come on.
Yeah, man. It's okay. Like we'll get back to you.
Should we have? So we got to do Big Grace Note Rant too, because it is the holiday season. That's when we do it.
Yeah, it was like New Year.
It was like Christmas season when we did it last time.
No, it was right around the world. Oh, right. So, no, it was Christmas season. Yeah, you're right.
And so, ding. And so yeah, Joe, if you want to be on Big Grace Note Rant, we could have
Joe doesn't have a podcast. He doesn't earn a way onto Big Grace Note Rant.
No, I mean he's got a good Catstagram.
That's true. He does. He does run arguably one of the greatest cats Instagram post thing of all time.
Yeah.
But I was more than a little hurt that Joe slagged us off on the Big Rab show.
Why?
Because I consider Joe a friend and a confidant and a brother in arms. I don't know. Pick your description, but
I think that I think he needs to just come back in, have a little love,
yeah,
a little love with the boys. He need, you know what he needs? He needs guy love.
Guy love. Yeah, he definitely is. I think he's upset that we just haven't talked to him in a while. I don't know.
Well, we've been okay. I will say this: we've been busy, and he has been very busy.
What is Joe busy doing besides marketing? Being the greatest
he's busy
marketer
dragging
of
the
pipe
trailer
bands of all
around.
time.
He's busy dragging the trailer around for the grade 3 band.
That's true. He drives the trailer to Stone Mountain and to
Yeah.
Maxville and back.
Come on, like
It's taking him.
come on. Joe Brady is a goddamn team player.
Oh my god, I can't wait to. Okay, so eventually I'm going to talk to him, like do a something with him.
Are you gonna do like a shitty long form interview like
Yeah.
Andrew Douglas does?
Well, no, it's going to be more like the story of us, like I did with Cahill. But Joe's fascinating.
Our least played episode. Cool.
Well, maybe either way, but I find Joe fascinating. He's such a marketing genius.
Joe is not just a marketing genius. He has so much more to offer, but he is very reticent to actually speak up.
Oh, he's so political.
Like-
he does not want to be the face of change.
Yeah, he wants to be the puppet master.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Joe, we see you.
Yeah.
We know who
I
you
know.
are.
He's an incredibly smart human being,
Oh yeah.
and also handsome, and also hollow bones like a bird.
Yeah, he's very light. He's like Len Wood.
He's
you can pick him up.
He's literally 55 pounds. Also,
Len's like 75 years old, but Joe's like 45.
I don't
understand.
I don't know if we talked about this in the episode with Jack Lee, but I was so happy to see Len at that clinic.
Yeah.
It's so weird because we're like 2 weeks since like any of these things happened.
It was it's like 3 weeks ago that.
Yeah, it's so good to see Len, man. Len, like I said, I stand by this. Len is aging backwards. Like ever since he's like
Since he stepped down from competitive piping,
I ain't dealing with this. He looks younger than you right
Len
now.
run.
He's
75 years old.
He looks amazing.
And he's running the grade 5 band and he's loving every minute of it. It's like,
yeah.
hey, no pressure. I just get the fucking
I
jam
saw him.
over
I was
here.
like, oh my god, Len. He's like, I was like, went to give him a hug. He's like, don't pick me up. It's like, you know, I'm gonna.
Oh, dude, I wonder if I was him, I would hate that. And I saw you do it. I'm like, please don't, because like I respect Len a lot. I'm like,
So do
please
I.
don't lift him.
Oh, man.
there's something insulting about that to me. I don't know.
No, it's all love from me.
No, I get it. It's
Yeah.
love, but it's also like
Jeremy
you're like
picks
making a
me
point
up.
of him being little.
No, Jeremy
Doesn't
up.
pick me up though.
Yeah, he picks me up
'Cause
because
he
knows,
respects me.
He knows that I like it. He knows that I have a lot of love.
I don't know. I don't. I would feel weird about it. I get the desire to do it because he's just so little and so cute, and I love it.
No,
but
that's not why I do it. I just do it because I want him to be able to experience as how much love I have.
is that it?
And he can't do it if I'm just like bending down, giving him a hip hug. No, he has to be chest to chest.
Hey, fair enough.
For him to really understand how much I appreciate him as a person.
We all make choices. This
Yeah.
might be one of those cultural differences between Nevada and New York.
Nevada and Albany.
Exactly.
All right, let's go through some of these emails. Len, if you're out there and if for some reason you listen to the show,
He does not, I'm sure.
my pickup hug was only because I love you dearly, and I think you're the coolest fucking person.
Yeah, Len is awesome. I'll give him
Yeah.
that. So we went through.
I
Rabs.
want Len to be my grandpa, like very much. The problem is he's also the same age as my father.
Is he really?
Yeah. Well, actually, no. Angus is older than him.
Oh my god! They're close.
Yeah.
I don't know how old Len is actually. I say he's 70. I actually have no idea how old he is.
But just because he's a very kind, caring person, I was like, oh my god, can you be my grandpa?
Yeah. No, he is amazing. And true legend in the West Coast and Atlanta piping scene.
And rightfully so. Well deserved, man.
Yeah.
His legendary status is well deserved. He has done a lot for Southwest piping in general.
Oh my god! So speaking of Len Wood, let's talk about mental illness and bagpipes.
Wait a minute.
Wait, I'm just kidding. Where
Man's obsession.
do you want to go from here?
Okay, so do we have notes here?
There's a few options here. I don't have notes, but I have topics.
Oh no, I want to talk about the Glenfiddich.
Okay.
And I also want to talk about Reb.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't get too much into Rab's trip, actually.
Yeah, no, we hinted at it because then I did a sweet segue into the Joe Brady thing, and then you totally like blew it off.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
that's fair.
you know,
So back to Rab is what we're saying?
Yeah, so let's talk about the Glenfiddich first. Glenfiddich,
It happened.
it happened yesterday. Today? Is today still
Technically
Saturday?
today. Yeah,
Yeah.
technically it's today. Was it? What are you thinking? You seem disappointed.
You guys want to know the spookiest thing of all?
I do.
Jack Lee didn't win.
Oh, that. Yeah. It's unfortunate, but he's gonna bounce back because that's
Yeah,
his, that's his
yeah.
that's his.
He
mantra.
loves that shit.
Just bounce back. He's
Yeah.
gonna do it again next year. He's gonna do this shit till he dies. I imagine. I don't have the place.
That's like describing me jerking off. Like, yeah, he's gonna do it till he dies. Yeah, obviously.
Duh. Like Jack Lee playing in high level competitions is like you and I jacking off.
Yeah,
it's
the equivalent of me doing a stroke and poke in the shower.
It's a twice a day thing.
Twice a day, once a year in front of large crowds.
Exactly. But yeah, no. He came in. I don't have it in front of me. He's like fourth-ish. I don't remember exactly overall, but arguably the oldest person doing Glenfiddich. I don't know. But hey, that's awesome. I watched part of it. Did you catch any of it?
I know. I felt bad.
Yeah,
because I was fast asleep.
I was working mostly today, but I did catch some of it, and it was like it is every year. It's guys playing bagpipes in front of a bunch of horns.
So it's a bunch of old white guys playing pibrock.
Playing pibrock in front of antlers. Yeah, I mean, it's as it is.
It's still an awesome. I wish I. Here's what I would love to do. I'd love to attend the Glenfiddich.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That would be amazing to me. Like I'm just now. I can tell that I'm getting old and bored because I'm getting more interested in solo pipe band competition or solo piper competitions, solo drumming competitions. Like I'm getting much more into the scene.
You must be bored.
Yeah, I'm just at this point. I'm just giving up on life. I mean, look at me.
You're in a fucking cloak.
I'm like a discount Palpatine.
That's gonna be a reference you'll get in a couple weeks, people.
Yeah, you guys will understand. But yeah, no, like I'm getting more into that kind of stuff, and like the more I think about it, it's like I think I'd be more likely to travel like overseas to go like catch one of these like a solo performance, and then just fuck around for a week or so than I would be to go play with a band.
Well, it's way less responsibility.
Yeah, and I love that shit, man.
Way more party.
I love not having responsibility. Why do you think I got a vasectomy?
I've been trying to talk Cahill into going to the Glenfiddich with me for like 2 years now.
Not into
And I
getting a
haven't-
vasectomy?
Oh no.
He's already got one of
He
those,
must have
yeah.
one by now. Well, I mean, and mine's a natural vasectomy. It's just powder.
Yeah.
Please add water if you want children.
Yeah. One time Fusco told me I can't afford a vasectomy, so he just had me punch him in the balls real hard.
Have you ever watched that kind of porn? Have you ever seen that where like
Wait,
chicks punch guys in the balls?
well that's going to be the dominatrix episode.
Oh, we're coming to that. Yeah, we'll get to that.
You're going to have to wear a gimp mask. You thought the horse head was bad.
Oh my God! Wait till you hear what's coming, people.
Wait till you hear what's coming. But yeah, no, I just think that Jack put it very well on the episode when we talked to him, where he said he loves music, he loves doing it, he loves playing the Glenfiddich because it is playing against the best people, and that's when you're playing your best.
Absolutely. Yeah. No.
You could just be some asshole showing up to a grade 4 practice 3 times a month, and you're never going to play your best.
No. Not.
And no one will ever know because you're not being challenged.
Yeah. Are you referencing you? So what you're saying is you want to go watch the Glenfiddich so you challenge yourself?
Well, I challenge myself physically and sexually often.
Well, your tongue is the strongest part of your body at this point, from what I hear.
Boop. Redacted.
But no, yeah, it's an amazing competition. I listened to some of it. It was it was awe-inspiring. If you want to listen to MSRs ad nauseum, go to wherever MSRs are sold.
Go to wherever MSRs are sold near you. Okay, so let's quickly get through Rab Strip Stone Mountain and then topic of the week. We are at 50 minutes.
Perfect. This is great timing. So Rab went to Stone Mountain.
Yes, and
next topic.
Yeah, we were invited to go. I wanted to go, but it's terrible timing.
Why is that? Because it has something to do with piping?
Well, everything is terrible timing because
Correct.
I'm a very busy human being.
Right. Yeah.
Remember when I told you we were doing an episode tonight 2 hours ago?
Yes, I do remember this. Yeah, no, it's terrible timing. We were asked to play with a couple different bands at various levels to help fill numbers, and then which might have set off a shitstorm of people being upset of.
Did you see Doogie's post?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh I'm well.
Do you have
involved.
it? Do you have any insider insight?
I do, and I'm
Well,
not,
not necessarily about that post, but like as far as like bringing in ringers for Stone Mountain. Because I literally
yes.
know nothing.
Yes, I do. There's that mic again. That's how you do it. Just hit the table, and there's.
That's definitely gonna
That's scary.
pop a fuse in the.
Oh, it's gonna blow something up.
So this was our Satan mic that we said earlier.
Yeah, let's do some. Let's start with Satan.
So do you want to explain the fuckery in bringing ringers to Stone Mountain to Satan?
Okay, so let me explain this non-emotionally and with no skin in the game whatsoever, just as I know it.
Wait, do you want to summon Satan first?
I do. Hail Satan, if you are out there, please come on the show so I can talk to you. Satan, is that you? Satan? Yes. You know, Satan, you sound a hell of a lot like God. You're right. God, we can actually understand when he talks into the reverb mic. Unlike Satan, I have no idea what he's talking about. Just turn down the reverb just a touch so we can understand you. So Satan, being the Lord of all evil, the disruptor, being the disruptor, what are all the names for Satan? The Morning Star. Now it's completely off. Now we're fucked. All right, forget that bit. The mic doesn't work. The Lord of all evil, the Deceptor,
The Morning Star,
Lucifer,
the Fallen One,
Mephistopheles. I don't know, whatever all the names are. Beelzebub. So I'm curious what Satan would think about this. But so basically, it's this: the Stone Mountain Games is way outside the normal season, so it doesn't. And it's not. I'm assuming it's not a non-sanctioned game, so it doesn't apply to the rules of USPBA. But essentially, a bunch of bands brought in.
What is USPBA?
Weird. Satan sounds a lot like Bane. But so essentially, various bands brought in a bunch of people from various places. Big Rab being one of them, and some people are upset about this because it's just like a one-off games and there's money involved and blah blah blah. So people are bringing in like high-level players, like from what's that band in Florida that I always get their name wrong? Dunedin. Yeah, them, and then St. Thomas, and then like the Texas Caledonia brought in like a drum corps from Ireland. Apparently, I don't know. So, and people are upset about it, essentially. Some people are upset about it. Some people don't give a fuck. So it's like the rules, it's all within the rules, technically, but is it within the spirit of the competition to bring in all these players into a situation like this?
It depends on the spirits. Do the spirits eventually go to me?
This is also highlighted that we're doing exactly this to a certain extent. I mean, granted, we haven't, if we win, then okay. Maybe it's a bad thing, but it's way too early to even think about that. We're trying to bring in people to play with what do we call ourselves? The Destination Pipe Band, right? and it might draw the same ire from people if we're bringing in people from around the country to play with us. Mostly, we're doing it for fun because it's fun. But I don't know. What do you think? Is it bad? Is it good? Is it fun? Is it not?
Go with your desires. If your desire is to play music with your friends, be they from Las Vegas or otherwise, play music. Do not worry about the opinions of associations.
Well, the associations say it's okay. It's other people that we know that don't agree with this.
Who does not agree?
I can't really say. I'm not really allowed to
Oh, you're
go into detail on that. But I can't talk about the question. Is it fair to bring in people if it's within the rules to do it, technically? Even though there's 2 or 3 or 4 grade 1 players playing in a grade 3 band, potentially? Is that really what we're trying to accomplish as a musical culture of
I'm listening to
blah,
the
blah, blah.
souls
And?
of all those who have competed in the past, and they say, you know what? Was it worth it to play by the rules, or was it more important to win?
That is the question, isn't it?
Whose rules do you follow? Whose rules matter? At the end of the day, your souls all belong to me.
Well, there's that. Well, we know how where Satan stands on this. Win at all costs. That's fair enough. I get it, Satan. But that's essentially the controversy. as we
Yeah,
say.
the controversy over what my friend from Albany says, you know, it's real, but I think that okay, let's strip back the mask,
Okay.
as it were. You're worried about what? The opinions of others?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm not worried about anything. What are you talking about?
So we're definitely looking to have people come in as the destination pipe band, which we are.
Oh yeah. I don't give a fuck.
Destination pipe band, right?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Destination Pipe Band.
And yeah, like we're gonna bring people in because they're our friends and they're friends of the show or just friends of the band that shall not be named, and we're gonna play music with them.
Yes.
And I swear to God, if you fucking fucks
file a complaint.
or
motherfuckers.
decide to fucking bitch about it, like, okay, cool. You
Well-
do you, but think about this. What is the ultimate purpose?
That is the question.
The ultimate purpose is to play music with your friends and have a good time.
Well, that's not the ultimate purpose of a competition necessarily. We could play on stage and do that without competing for money. This is where people get sensitive. When there's money involved.
But not very much, guys.
No.
Like,
No, I know, but still, that's what they're.
I
arguing.
know what the top prize money in the Vegas games is. It's higher than most, but it's still not a lot of money.
No, but to a band of 20 people trying to cover costs, it's significant to win that or not win that. It absolutely is.
Like, at
I've
the
been
end
on
of
the
the-
receiving end of that. Like,
At the end of the day, you're there to jam. Like, if I have a friend that comes from if I have a friend that pays thousands of dollars to come from Australia to perform, and you're like, well, wait a minute, is she on the roster? Dude, I'm going to throw you in the dumpster.
you might, but does that mean they're wrong? The
Yeah.
rules, there's still rules for a reason. You've argued about associations not having their shit together, but part of what an association does is set the rules for a competition, and then we have to follow them
But-
if we buy into that system.
But do they seem arbitrary? Like, what's the worst thing that happens? You stack the deck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that?
Well,
but that's
that's-
against the spirit of what we're trying to accomplish here. Is
like
as
stacking the deck is a pretty capitalistic enterprise. I'm okay with that to an extent. Just stack the deck against the person who's trying to stack the deck against you. That's
Right.
not that hard.
But that
Trust
okay,
me.
that,
Trust me. If you're
it
stacking,
is hard. It is
Trust
hard.
me. If you're stacking the deck,
If you don't have
and-
connections, if you're not one of the rich, if you will, rich in connections, then you're not going to be able to do
if
that.
you're
So
stacking the deck in Albuquerque versus stacking the deck in like any,
we're not talking
actual-
about Albuquerque. We're talking about like significant events here. We're talking about people like might pull in people to play in Pleasanton, say, or something of that size, something of that sort of thing, which is significant.
I think at the end of the day, in my opinion, I will qualify because I think our opinions are going to differ on this.
Probably.
In my opinion, just be better.
Be better at what? Like marketing yourself so people want to play with you, like across the country, or play in a band that you can pull in people from your band to play with them?
Both.
I mean, I don't know.
Both, or be good enough to where if someone pulls in one ringer snare drummer, it doesn't actually
one
beat you in
person's
contest.
one person's not significant, but it's when it's more than that it becomes more of an issue. And when you're dealing with games like Stone Mountain, which are outside the rules, you can pull in it.
I just think some of these
Doesn't
rules are made to protect the lazy and the weak.
What do you mean?
Like what's going to happen if I can bring in if I could have Stuart Little play with the fucking Las Vegas Pipe Band at the Vegas Highland Games, okay, do it.
Okay. What if you brought in 4 people from Inverary to play with us?
Then I win. Like
that's crazy though. That is that really what we want out of a grade 4 competition?
as long as it raises the musicianship.
Does it though? To pull in ringers who play in 1 games and maybe practice with you once. How does that raise the musicianship?
Because like at the end of the day, how many times can you do it, right? So if you pull them in for 1 game,
Probably once, maybe. I'm with
At the
how
end of the
affordable
day-
to sort something like this
well, I'd
is.
say at the end of the day, the economics will sort it out because you win 1 event.
You might, maybe. I mean, I don't know, but maybe that's the only event that one other band goes to. I mean, I
And
don't
they
know.
get slapped.
Yeah, that seems very against the spirit of what we're trying to accomplish here to me.
I mean, at the end of the day, they get to listen to some really good pipers play.
Yeah, but why not just pay Inverary
Even then-
or whoever to come down and do a?
Because it's cost exorbitant amount of money.
You're paying
But-
them anyway. These bands are probably paying their way.
But that's
to
the
get
thing,
here.
right? Like, look at the economics of it. Like, it's never going to affect us on the West Coast. Hardly at all.
It absolutely does. This comes down to like that whole thing that I argued about, like when we had a competition in Vegas and when it used to be run by another organization, and 3 of the 4 judges were wearing the same kilt of the band that we were playing against. That is a problem.
That's a
the
problem.
same concept.
That's a problem.
It's
But
the same concept.
But if a band had 3 people from Northern Ireland playing in it, you wouldn't be like, well, there's a problem right there, because none of the judges are going to be like, those are 3 people from Northern Ireland.
They might not recognize them. That's true. But
Your initial issue with all of the judges being in the same band as the band they're judging, that still holds. That's just not relevant to this.
it is though, because you're talking about an imbalance of either judging or players. Either way, the net result.
Well, it'll only
is the
be
same.
players. We're only talking about an imbalance of players.
Well, it's definitely happened. Like there was times when like the grade 4 band in LA Scots had Colin Armstrong on the fucking bass drum. Like that seems inherently unfair to me. I mean, it's within the rules, but it seems odd to me that's not fair.
That doesn't bother me that much.
It bothers me.
The judging thing bothers me more than that. Like whoever's playing is playing. Like players are players.
I don't know. Like in
You can
sports,
only-
that would never happen.
you can only
when you're
s-
in your league, you're stuck in your league. You
Yeah.
can't change leagues. You can't change levels.
But I don't think the two things are quite like evenly matched in comparison. Like I don't think that a pro NFL player playing for a college team is the same thing as a pro piper or drummer playing with a grade 4 band,
Why?
because nobody knows and nobody cares. And one
People in the bands that are
One-
competing against them care.
one pro player cannot carry. One pro player on a college team in NFL can potentially carry it.
No, not at all.
But one pro piper or drummer cannot carry a shit band.
No, that's absolutely true. You're 100% right about that. You're still basically as strong as your weakest link. There's no doubt about that. But we're not talking one person. We're talking people that brought in numerous people. It's not one person. And because it's within the rules, because there's no roster rules. I mean, they're way less restrictive when they're out of season, if you will. There's still a lot of bands that travel a long way to go to Stone Mountain or wherever the fuck they go. I don't know where people go this time of year, but
That's the game, dude.
I don't know. That seems wrong to me. Like the game is not about like how savvy of a marketer you are to get Big Rab to come play with your band and Ed Best and fucking 2 guys from fucking Northern Ireland. Like that seems shitty to me.
Also, as much as I love Big Rab, like he's not going to carry your drum corps, dude.
No, but he's not the only one. They had 4 fucking people from various places. That's way more than one person. That's 2/3 of their drum corps, right? So that's significant. That's a big deal. So, and I don't know all the details of this particular band. I'm just using them as an example because it's the most fresh version of this. But like 4 out of 6 drummers are out of town or people that one's a significant judge in the West Coast. 2 are significant drummers in the Irish scene. There's another one from Ireland as well. Like, I don't know if they're good or not. I don't know anything about these guys, generally speaking, except for a couple of them. But like, that's not your normal showing. That's not your team.
Well, we also tried the exact same thing
When?
for Vegas. We
weren't competing.
We tried to bring in all the fucking Ballybreeze drums.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, the idea was like a bunch of the drums were going to come down. John Boy was going to come down. Dell was going to come down. Like that was the original intention
No.
for the Vegas games.
We talked to Del Boy about her coming and John Boy. Like that's
Like,
so not significant.
We were going to bring some drums down.
Yeah,
I mean it's the
that's
same. It's
so
the same
not
fucking
significant.
thing.
It's different. Like I know where you're going with that, but it's totally different. Because again, we're talking about tenors, not snares. We're talking about we had none. We're talking about us not competing anyway. We're going to get disqualified anyway. It's a whole different ball of wax.
So if we had the opportunity to bring an entire corps in,
Well, this is
what would you
core
have
of
done?
what? Drummers?
Yeah.
Well,
If
this is the thing that I'm talking about. This is what we're dealing with.
If
right
it was
now.
Vegas 2019, and it was like, hey, here's 4 drummers, because we had no core, we had 0.
right,
Like, here's 4 drummers, you guys will actually be able to compete. What would you have done? You would have taken it.
probably,
Yeah,
but where
that's what these people did.
No, they could still compete. They just brought in 4 very good people to add to their 2 or however many they had. There's a difference to me. I don't know. There's a difference. We weren't competing. We were getting disqualified. We had no options. We are not a band of great connections to be able to pull that off. So we didn't do it. We went out there anyway and we got disqualified. Like,
I think presented with the same scenario, you probably would have made a very similar decision.
I wouldn't pull in grade 1 people. No, not necessarily. We're pulling in people to play with us for sure, but we're doing it in the sense of playing for fun.
Well, but that's how we do
At
everything.
Vegas only.
Yeah, like
Yeah, which is not a significant event, and we're not pulling in significant people. We're pulling in
hey,
a grade 3 guy from
it's
over
a significant
here.
event,
We're
asshole.
pulling over a grade 3 guy from over here and a grade 3 guy from over there, but we still have to maintain rules. We still have to play within the rules, and WSPA is better at being within the rules than other associations, from what I've seen. They have their rules are a little bit more in line, believe it or not. But trust me, I struggle with the philosophy of it. Like, what are we trying to accomplish by bringing these people in? Mostly, it's just let's have fun and play.
Well, for us, it's the sesh.
Correct. Yes. So I'm not going to Pleasanton with these people. You know what I mean? We're going to 1 games because that's
Also, even
all
if
we
you're
can afford.
going to Pleasanton, what happens? Like, you bring in a bunch of ringers, you win Pleasanton, and nobody cares.
Yeah, but the bands that you're competing against, you care because they're going to lose potentially $1,000 or whatever. I don't know what the prize money is, but first versus 0 or I don't know, third is significant. Money is significant to people when it comes to pipe bands, which is a net loss fucking activity.
That's why I don't understand the whole prize money being significant to people. It's like you all lose money no matter what. Like it's.
Yeah, but you lose less, and you still have to finance a nonprofit organization.
There's so little gain. Like we only do like
it's not little. It's significant.
We only do 2 things.
You're talking about bands with budgets of maybe $10,000 or less, and $1,000 of prize money is significant.
Like we only do like 2 things that make us able to do anything else.
What?
The fundraisers we do. The fucking
That's
whiskey
us.
tasting.
We're not talking. It's not just us. We're talking about everybody, the whole organization.
Yeah, well.
If we were to
Well, quit bitching about someone bringing in ringers and do a whiskey tasting. Done.
you're missing the point. What is the point of competition if not to make it fair amongst everybody? Why do we compete? What is the point? Why would you compete
Okay, so
as an association? If you were running an association,
let's use that as an example. Okay, what is the point of competition if not to make it fair amongst everybody? Okay, so when I play with the grade 5 band, that's not fair.
what grade 5 band are you referring
Our grade 5 band. If I went and played with
to? Your
Phoenix,
team is your team regardless.
if I went and played with Phoenix's grade 5 band, that's not fair.
If there's only you, then it is fair. Is it only you?
Like so, it's fair if it's only me because the rule
You're
says
only one person.
The
No,
rule says that.
because one person doesn't make a difference. We're talking about 4 versus 1. That's significant.
Okay, so 4 of us went and played.
That would be a
It's
problem.
no longer fair.
Absolutely, that would be a problem. Sure. But who are we talking about? Like, you and I are not guys from St. Thomas. That's a drastic difference.
Yeah, but they need shit to do too, man. Can't cut them out from playing in the off season. They want to go play.
Maybe.
They
but
get free trips.
but why?
Let them get theirs.
But why? I mean, maybe one guy, maybe that's their home band. I don't know the stories. That's the thing. I don't know. Maybe these guys played in maybe North Texas, Caledonia is like their home band, and that's where they grew up, and that's reasonable. But I don't know that. Nobody knows the story. I don't know. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
just
And
think-
I'm just using this as an example. This is by no means the biggest issue of this by any means, but there's way bigger examples of this where some people are upset by what are we doing here? What is the point of all this? And if we have
To lose money.
no, that's not the point. Be serious. What is the point of competition? Why are we doing this?
Oh, to prove I'm better than you.
Okay. So better than you means I'm a better marketer and have friends in high places. Like, this is exactly the
But
haves
on-
and have nots concept of
But
friends.
it's also on the day. Like, if for somehow you marketed better to get people to come play with your band, that I don't give a shit about that. On the day, did your band play better than me? I don't care who's in it. Did
But
you play
who's in
better?
your band? This is exactly the point.
No, you're
Like,
but
who's
you're-
on your team?
Yeah,
And how do you judge?
But you're also like, you cheated. Like,
it doesn't. You can't get away with it in sports, so I don't know why you'd get away with it here. I don't understand.
at the end of the day, like they played better. Who cares who's in there?
That's a ridiculous concept. That's like, let's play Olympics fucking soccer with one team that can bring in professionals and one team that cannot. That's ridiculous. That's a stupid concept. That wouldn't work. Nobody would agree to be part of this group to do that. This Olympic committee, whatever, like this association. Why would you do that? I wouldn't agree to be part of an association that would allow one team to pull in their friends from a higher level band, and then we know we're going to get crushed every time. I wouldn't do that. I just wouldn't go. That's silly. So
Well, then- but
sports
then-
teams aren't allowed to do it.
But
Why are we?
then the system self-corrects at that point, right? Like,
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. If it's haves and have-nots, it obviously hasn't self-corrected, right? So we're still in the same situation.
it's interesting.
Oh,
It's
it's
interesting.
fascinating.
Interesting topic. I have a
fascinating.
question for you,
Oh, I'm all
and I
ears.
want you to answer this honestly.
Okay.
Would you be willing to cut this portion out and then make it a Patreon exclusive? We pretend it was a break, and then
Why would we do that?
just because I think if we had an entire bit and we still haven't even gotten to the rest of the bits in the show notes. we have a great 30-minute segment that I want to keep.
Which part?
This part we just did with the association thing. Yeah.
So what's the part? We could just end it there.
You just ended that right on that. You don't
Well,
want
I mean-
you want to go into the.
Mark where you're talking. I mean, I don't know. We could do that, cut this out, and just do this. I don't care. Whatever. We can just go into that and then see how it all edits together.
Okay. Do you want to just keep going? I'm game if you're game, my friend.
With the intent of cutting that and using it separate?
Or either way. But we have to put a cap on it either way.
Yeah, let's do it, and then we'll just edit as we decide to edit it.
Okay, so quick cap on the.
Do you want to like sum it up or not?
I think it'd be better if you did because you have stronger feelings.
And how are we gonna put this all together?
I'm gonna come back at you. Okay.
With the after the summary.
No. You're gonna push like the hey. It's not fair if you fucking have people from different grades playing together, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to come back at you, and then we'll do a quick... I'll read in a break for talking to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
And then either way, we still have it, whether we want to cut it as separate or keep it in. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, in the end, my general summary and opinion is this. Things need to be better stated and consistent throughout the year, and just leave it at that. Just keep it simple.
You think everyone should have weights in their pockets, Fusco?
Absolutely. We should all have the same weights.
No. Different people should. The better you are, the heavier weights you should have. That's what you think.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I think at all. You're always twisting my words.
Son of a bitch.
Capitalistic cunt, you.
Sorry. I didn't mean to call you son of a bitch. Your mom's a very nice lady.
Level playing field. Blah, blah, blah.
There's no such thing as a level playing field. It doesn't exist.
In competition.
It doesn't
absolutely.
exist. The more you try to create it artificially, the more you will fail.
It's not artificial. We should all be starting from the
It's
same place.
artificial. It's natural.
We should all be starting from the same place in a competitive environment. It's that simple.
All right. We're going to have to agree to disagree.
That's fine.
Now's a great time for us to pop into the chat for a bit. In the meantime, here is a word from our pre-recorded commercials that we'll record after the episode.
Yeah, we got it. We need new ones.
Give it till it hurts.
Oh, yeah.
Patreon.com/Chenerent. Oh, yeah.
Thank you to all our spooky patrons and advertisers whose names I don't know because we haven't done the ad yet. Now, Mr. Andy Foucault.
Yes. We're back.
I want to talk to you about the topic of the week, the spookiest topic of all, intimacy.
It's the scariest thing I've ever heard of. Intimacy.
So, tell me about your recent adventures in
what does that have to do with intimacy?
Vermont and Montreal.
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 How do you
Montreal.
how do you say Montreal in a French accent?
You put a sock in your mouth and then you say it, right? Montreal.
Oh my god.
How do you say Montreal with a French accent? Yeah, put a dick in your mouth.
There you go. So yeah, man, I'm back. We're back. Now this is why we're back to actually a normal show. It's been a couple weeks and I was gone. And thus why everybody had to wait for the show because Josh had to edit it. So, but yeah, man, it was a good time. I went to Vermont.
Had to. You mean Josh created
a
beautiful
masterpiece, yes.
of auditory goodness.
Which, yeah, it was awesome. And it got done in a perfectly reasonable amount of time. As people who bugged me constantly, like, where the fuck is this show?
Hey, Michelangelo took years to do the fucking Sistine Chapel, dude.
That's true. Laying on his back for years. So yeah, I got to go to Vermont, work with a band out there with our buddy Andy Adams, who was the drum instructor, I guess. And there was a grade 5 band out there looking to not be the worst thing on the planet. And I appreciate
Your
that.
specialty.
Yeah, I am great at like not being the worst thing on the planet.
Well, being one step above.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's all you need. Improvement is all that you need. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to win. You just have to be better than
All
you
you
were
got.
yesterday.
Yeah, it's like outrunning a bear.
Exactly. You just don't want to be the last one, the slowest one, right? So yeah. So it was cool, man. I flew through Montreal because that was the cheapest way to go, and then I drove down to Vermont. But when I flew to Montreal, Mary, Queen of Legs, met me at the airport.
One of the six,
OG, I think, to show me around a little bit of Montreal. Well, because I don't know.
Wait, what was that? Where were you?
Montreal. which was awesome. I'm really appreciate her doing that because I was like walking into a place that I apparently everybody speaks French first. I mean, they all speak English, but-
you of all the talents you have, cardinal directions, not really a good one. Like, tell me about your navigational ability in Mancheron.
Well, I didn't have to navigate because she was there to do it for me. So,
So you just followed the lights.
I followed. Well, yeah, and you know everybody's got Google Maps, right? So it's relatively easy. Which I did do some of that without her. But
Isn't it in Montreal? Isn't it the Le Google map?
they map Google.
See, so you picked up some of the common tongue while you were there.
Yeah. Well, I picked up more than that.
Whose tongues did you pick up?
I picked up some of the common herpes too. I think I don't know, but
They call it le herpes.
le herpes. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah. Anyway, she met me there. We went around. We traveled. We sort of viewed some of Montreal, and then we met my future wife for lunch.
So you couldn't.
She was
seal
working that day.
You couldn't seal the deal on this trip with getting the marriage done.
No, Montreal's not like Vegas. You can't
just
walk
drive
in.
through?
You can't walk in and just.
Shit.
You know,
You
there's no Elvis on the corner to
You
marry.
should have found a boat captain.
That would have been a great idea. Wait, did we? No, we never did. Yeah, but there's plenty of boats. It's an island apparently. I learned that Montreal's an island surrounded by a river.
You just
apparently, or
need a
something.
boat captain, dude.
Yeah, we could have done that actually. I didn't even think of that. Where were you fucking 4 days ago? 5 days ago?
Here working, managing your dog shit band.
Wait, you had nothing to do while I was gone. I was there both Tuesdays. I did that on purpose. I scheduled my trip to be back in time for band. But so yeah, so we did
You don't
that.
even know. You don't even know the work I do behind the scenes.
No, that's true. I don't, and I'd rather not know. So drove to Vermont, worked with this band. It was really a great experience. It was my first individual clinic, if you will, in the sense where I ran the whole thing. And I also want to thank Jack Lee for recommending me. He actually recommended me as a person with creative ideas to help low-level bands.
I'm interested in this because this is a field that I've thought you should break into for a very long time. Of being the person that gets hired to tell the band the same thing their pipe major's been telling them for years.
Yes, and actually that was brought up as it is here when Jack comes here and he says the same shit that I've been saying, and people start to listen. Hopefully.
So tell me about this because I feel like there's some niche opportunities, especially I would say more so on the west coast of the United States. But you kind of went in to essentially bring a 5 to a 4.
No, that's not really their goal. Yes, maybe someday, but ultimately this band is a very bottom of the pile grade 5 band, at least as to their competition this year. And it kind of hit them like we don't want to be that anymore. Like they don't know what they don't know.
Like, get their shit together.
Some kind of. I don't want to even put it that way. They're like, you know, obviously we're doing something wrong. We're coming in dead last in everything we do. Like we don't know what we don't know. Let's figure out how to do that. And they're committed to education as an organization, as most should be. Most nonprofit.
It should be the number one priority.
Absolutely. And
as we've seen just in our experience, like as soon as the past 2 years.
Yes.
of
Almost 2 years now.
making that the number one priority.
It's always been a significant part, but we were like, let's just fucking
this is
let's
the
just
only
throw
thing.
it.
This
Let's
is
do
the only
100% of
thing
this.
we care about.
Yes,
like
this
like
is all
it
we're
turned
gonna
into
do.
it turned into like, okay, all the money we make goes towards this.
Pretty much, yeah, a significant portion of it. So yeah, and they're kind of in that same boat where they're like, we're just tired of being shit, more or less, and they wanted to figure out how to not be that way anymore. So, and they're all many of their students are dojo students, so that's how they know me. I teach a lot of them in classes, and then, they've been to clinics, and a lot of them have been to various, dojo things. So it just sort of, without going into the details of how all that worked out, they ended up bringing me out to help them. And it was interesting because I looked at it as pipe band consulting. It was like they don't even know how to strategize a practice.
This was one of the questions I had, because usually when you bring someone in, if you bring like a Jack in or a Seamus in, it's entirely musical. But
very much, yeah.
I think that you have an interesting, and I hate to give you compliments, you know this, but you have an interesting kind of approach, because realistically, I would describe your approach as more holistic than just let's just fix the music. And the music is the only thing. Like, there's an opportunity for you to be like, hey, also, here's like some cultural things you should fix. Here's some opportunities for you to raise some money. Here's,
We actually went into that.
I mean, we're like the band that shall not be named is a case study for how do you do more with less.
Yeah, and I suspect there's others out there as well that are like that. But
just
we
worse
definitely
at,
are.
worse at marketing it.
Yeah, but no, I mean, literally, we had a meeting with the whole band at one point where we talked about like how the organization should be run. From like, should we have dues? How do we like get more out of, like, they had questions like, all right, we get a wedding through the band. How should we handle that? Like they had no clue as to what seemed reasonable or fair. That's why I called it consulting. It's like every level of running their organization was complete random. Like, we don't know what to do. We're just going to go with our gut here on this, whatever. So, there's no right answer necessarily to that per se. It depends on how much money what kind of budget you're dealing with, how much you guys make in a year. There's all kinds of stuff.
Framework though.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what they were missing, is the framework of how to start, where to start, basically. And so there was stuff like that. There was like stuff like a big part of it was they don't even know how to, like, we called it circle discipline, but they had no concept of like what it means to be in a competitive circle. Not even competitive, that's the wrong word. Like a disciplined circle.
Professional. Well, I mean, it always, like in my mind, it always comes back to like building the concept of there is practice and there is a rehearsal.
Correct. That simple concept was...
If you can understand
missed.
the difference between those two things, because practice is your time, rehearsal is everybody else's time.
Right.
So,
exactly correct. Yeah. Okay.
So if you can understand that core concept, it changes the way you approach it, right? Like, I mean, I love to goof off. You know this. Mm-hmm. Everybody who listens to this show knows this.
Knows it very well.
Like, in the circle, I'm pretty locked down. Like, I'm just like, okay, this is not my time.
Correct. I think that's the big thing that a lot of bands need to learn, is sort of strategy of rehearsal. And that's a significant part of being successful, I think.
I love to goof off before, love to goof off after.
Mm-hmm. Right. Again, that's what some bands are missing, I think. And that's the niche sort of thing that we could go after, I think, for sure.
Is just kind of like the top down. Because, I mean, there's so many things. Like, there's the structure of a practice. There's the structure of, like, hey, here's how we're going to approach getting gigs. There's fucking stupid things. Like, here's how we're going to, like, archive stuff so we can actually find what we need.
Sure.
Yeah. Like...
Yep. There's that kind of stuff. There's, I'm trying to think of some things we went over, but we talked about, like, obviously, like, setup, like, maintenance, if you will. We talked about, like, pipe band circle etiquette, like what you're supposed to do when you're standing in the circle or not do, which is really the biggest thing, is all the various...
It's more about the things you
happens.
shouldn't do.
Yeah, it's attack drills. It's sitting in a circle and how to strategize working people through a new tune or even an old tune, doesn't matter what it is, in a practice chanter circle concept, from strongest to weakest, blah, 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 like all kinds of various concepts that... Don't
fucking wander off.
If you grew up on an island, you wouldn't know this. You're just sort of figuring it out, you know?
It's also don't sit down. Don't, like just be present.
Yeah. That was another thing too.
I think the biggest thing is be present.
That was, like, this is something we've eliminated for a while now, but it's like, all right, now everybody go warm up their pipes, and then people just wander off.
It's like, no.
And then you're like spending 15 minutes trying to track them down.
It's
like,
not
where the hell did everybody go?
It's not go warm up your pipes at the opposite end of the fucking earth.
Right.
It's warm up your pipes here in the room.
So that when we're ready to go, you just turn around and play. I mean,
I've absolutely copied Jason.
Jason who?
Jason Black.
Oh, yeah.
When I'm like doing like everyone warm up, and I like everyone goes in different corners of the auditorium, and I don't let them leave the room, and then I just do like the fucking big like stomp on the ground, and everyone has to come up to me.
Right, but they should be paying attention to that. And that's the other thing, is like it used to happen to us. People like, all right, warm up, and people, because they want to hear themselves, they'll go. And I used to call Angel used to do this to me all the time. I used to call
Angel's
like,
the
Angel,
one. Angel
don't go
one-
put on a
yeah.
concert. Nobody needs to hear you play your 2/4 march.
And
We
it's
don't
nothing-
care.
Yeah, it's nothing personal against Angel.
No,
he just
it's
used
just-
to go fucking disappear.
He would
and-
disappear and go put on a concert or whatever, as I called it. But like, just stay in the room. Like, we'll tune your drones or
Yeah.
tune them if you're
And it's
by
like,
yourself.
well, something's out. Okay, I'm gonna fix
We'll
that.
get to that. Don't worry about it. Just warm up your shit. Like,
Yeah.
what do you think too
just,
much?
Just play heat. Just play heat and air.
You're thinking too much. Put heat and air in there, and heat and moisture, and then we'll do the rest. And then stand in a circle. And
But
shut
yeah,
up
I do
and play.
think there's definitely like it's interesting now because we have spent so much time, energy, and money on bringing in quality instruction just to get us over the hump. You know,
Sure. Is it? Would you say Jack has done anything different than what we already knew what we should be doing?
no,
No, I would agree with that.
not at all.
But I love the man.
He has not introduced any new ideas.
The only thing he can do as a person outside is confirm what we're trying to do and also inspire, hopefully, which is his strength. That's the
he has
strength
not
of his.
introduced any new ideas into the system.
No.
But he has taken the same ideas and tried 15 approaches of how to introduce them on every single
and
person.
or inspire people to actually take
Yeah.
them and do something.
Like
with them.
so I think the magic of someone like Jack is, let's say I'm telling you to stand up. Stand up. And you don't do it. Each person has a different kind of learning style that they need to hear to get them to fucking stand up.
Sure.
It seems simple.
Right. Some people need to
But-
hear it. Some people need to see it. Some people need to.
Some people need I would like you to stand up. Some people need you need to fucking stand up now.
Right.
Some people need, it'd be great if you stood up. Some people need sitting down's good. But what if you stood up? Right? Jack, the magic of that kind of instruction is he'll go through all 15 iterations on 5 different people
He will. Yeah.
in a matter of seconds. Like he'll immediately lock on to the one they need.
Correct.
And it's a very basic example, but he'll immediately lock on to the one that will get them to do the thing.
Correct. Yeah.
For me, it would be stand the fuck up.
Right. That's more or less my approach most of the time.
Like that would work. I'd be like, okay, cool.
Yeah, it doesn't work on everybody, obviously. But when you're not the pipe
not-
nature, I bet you he doesn't do that in SFU.
No,
There's no way.
no, not in a
I mean, I
million
don't
years.
know. Maybe he does. I have no idea. But probably, I would guess he doesn't. But this is an example of like working with this band that was interesting. Is like you kind of have to prove to them that what you're saying works. And once you do that, suddenly people are like, "Oh shit." So I did that one day. We were working on maintenance with this one. Well, we were talking about like setup overall, and I just picked the guy that I knew whose drones were. I could hear him when they were playing in the circle.
That were
His drones
total
were
garbage.
Yeah, that double toning constantly and whatever. So, and I just set him up and showed him how to calibrate their drone reads by me doing it for him and showing him how to do it in groups of 2, like pairs. So we could all, you can just pair up and do it. It's way faster. And it, like as soon as I did it, and then suddenly he could strike at his pipes correctly, like everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's like magic!" But it's not magic. It's
No.
a system. It's just a process of doing and
It's just
getting
not.
good
Yeah,
at it.
it's just not easy.
Yeah, at first it's not easy because you're not sure of the system. You're thinking too much. Which is normal. If you're a firefighter and you're learning to put on your goddamn whatever those things are called.
I never knew any of that
And-
shit. Like I never knew any of that shit. My pipes were horribly inefficient for years.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just now that I know that stuff, and it's not like some secret magic thing. I fucking calibrated my drone reads in the parking lot at the gig today.
Right. Yeah. And when they're slightly off, it's not that difficult to fix them real quick.
Just take the
if
time.
you're aware of the little
Just take the time
process.
and do it.
Yeah. So, but it was interesting to watch lights go off and it was really fascinating actually. When people were slowly, like at first you could sense a little resistance here and there, and then you win them over time by just proving that it works. If you just think it through and keep it relatively simple, things work, and then it just happens. So overall it was very successful between myself and Andy. The two of us sort of played off each other very well and had a lot of the same ideas because we both played in lots of different bands over the years with systems that work, So it really clicked for a lot of people, and it was very exciting to see that, like people really respond to that. Overall, it was very successful. And I'm very happy I did it for sure.
And you got laid.
Well, I don't know about that, but I mean, I definitely masturbated a lot, but choking myself in the closet with a with a neighbor's belt, I don't know.
And Fusco,
Yeah. Uh-oh. Here we go.
do you want to know the spookiest thing of all about bagpipes?
Yes, what's the spookiest thing?
It's not that fucking hard.
I know, we make it way more complicated than it should be.
Fusco, give me your spooky final thoughts. Do you want reverb on that?
Yeah, give me some more. Yeah. My final thoughts are these. I'm very excited and happy that I went to this clinic. And I happened to go through Montreal because French people are very scary to me. And I learned to put up with French-speaking Quebecers. And I enjoyed meeting Mary and Elise, and they were great fun, and I appreciate them putting up with me for 3 days. And showing me Hurley's Irish pub. And that's it. Those are my final thoughts.
My final thoughts are that the pipe band life is the spookiest life. And thank you for everyone who joined us for this spooky episode of the Gentleman Podcast, where we talked about bagpiping things and also not bagpiping things.
And horse head masks. And
Oh, we should put those back on.
yeah, we should probably exit with those.
All right, Fusco, play us out.